Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Super Talk. Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Super Talk. Excited about today as we have our board president, Dr. Belinda Reininger, with us. Damon, this one's special for us. I know that the community knows Dr. Reininger as board president, but today we'll get to know more about her. So we'll let you start off with some questions for our board president. Damon, what do you got?
Well, first of all, I wanted to tell you that it is such an honor to have you here with us. On a personal note, and representing my theater peeps, I just wanted to say on how much we appreciate your love of the arts, but also in general, your support of our students all the way across the district. You're absolutely amazing. You're always there. You're always supporting. And I want to thank you up front for that. I wanted to ask some things that maybe people in the community wanted to know to really get to know you a little bit better. Why the school board? Why did you decide to run for school board? As a person that I've served on many different boards personally, and oftentimes I find that whenever you serve, it's thankless. It's a thankless job. What made you decide, I'm going to run for the school board?
Well, first off, thank you so much for your sweet comments. You know, there's nothing more that myself, and I honestly think to a board member, that we love more than just supporting our kids, our faculty, our leaders like you. And so we are, for me, thank you for giving me the opportunity. As I think back about why I ran for school board, so I'm finishing my 6th year, and it's gone so quickly. But I ran because, I'm a mother of 3 and a wife of an educator in a different district. But I've been around education. I'm passionate about education, and I'm also really interested in how we can make things better for big groups of people and thinking about big change, like system change. And so as my kids were either in the district or coming into the district, they had some struggles with reading, and particularly being diagnosed and understanding how to cope with dyslexia. And so I thought, golly, not only do I want to help, right? Because it's not just my kids, and it doesn't even matter if it's dyslexia; it could be something else. But I want to see what we can do for others. How can I, as just a parent or somebody, help? But more so, just not even just help like volunteer time, but how can we make sure that we're doing it system-wide? Like, let's get the best things. Let's get the evidence-based scientific strategies in place so that we can help. And certainly school board doesn't do that. Like, we don't go in and work with kids, and we don't do that. But we get to make some of the decisions about and ask the right questions so that our experts can make those choices, and we can support them in getting those big things that will work and make a difference for kids. So that kind of drew me to it. But honestly, it was just it wasn't like a long-term plan of mine or anything like that. Mr. McShann had served for 30 years, and when he had made the decision to not run, there was a spot open, and I just considered the option and thought, well, I'll just throw my hat in the ring, and it's been the honor of my life, honestly.
And I know for me as superintendent of schools, it is just a joy to work with you as our board president. You do a tremendous job working with the administration. You do a tremendous job working with the board. Your leadership, your insight, your experience is just such a blessing. So I want to say thank you on behalf of the entire school district, on behalf of the entire community. Thank you for giving of your time, because I know that it's just so much time away from your family. And even when you're at home, there's a lot of things, whether it's going through board packets or whether it's just getting prepared for board meetings or just leading. So thank you for that. But I know there's a lot of people out there that may want to know just about you. What's your story? Where'd you grow up? What do you like to do for fun? What do people, what's something that you're saying, I'd like people to know this about me?
Oh, gosh. So it's so funny because I said, "Oh, I'm so nervous about talking about myself." So thank you, golly. I can't imagine there's anything interesting. But so as a little girl, I had, I dreamed I was going to be an Olympic athlete. I thought I was going to be a runner. Well, that didn't pan out so well. And then I thought, well, I'll just go to the Olympics because I was also into horseback riding. So I was going to ride horses in the Olympics, and I loved that. I did it for many, many years, but I didn't go to the Olympics in that either. And then I got into dancing, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll dance on Broadway. Well, that didn't happen either. But I had big dreams about that. And then, I think that once I got into college, I really my passion about science and thinking about how to fix things and test ideas really settled in for me. And that's where I kind of got more traction than the other areas. But ultimately, I ended up becoming a scientist who studies physical activity and healthy food choice and thinking about how to give people opportunities, not just personal choices, can I just work harder, try harder? There's some of that, but there's a lot more about opportunity and environment and thinking about how do we create those opportunities for populations, particularly like those of us who live in the Valley where opportunities may be few and far between, right? Talent isn't, but opportunities are. So how do we blend that and create situations where we can thrive and create communities that are vibrant and people that are healthy and making good choices? So that's an area of passion for me for sure, and something I'm excited about doing. And honestly, I see the connection right to what we do in school districts. What better resource do we have in our community for our children and for our parents and for our employees than to be a place where we give opportunities?
So you mentioned horseback riding, dancing, running. Is there anything you still do of those three? Do you still run or ride?
I still run.
Okay.
I still try and do that. Yeah.
And I think that's important. I know for the district, that's one of the things that we're working on right now is not only raising our emotional quotient, but really taking care of ourselves from a physical standpoint. Damon, as you know, Dr. Randiger, I turned 51 today. Born on Halloween.
Happy birthday to you. And born on Halloween.
1972 during a thunderstorm.
Wow. And it's raining today too, so there you go.
51 years old, and I'm saying, as you get older, you start to realize the importance of physical fitness and the importance of the fact that we're taking care of ourselves. I'm 51, but really, I want quality of life when I'm in my 80s. Dad's 94. He's still independently living with mom, who's 88, and it's just a dream to say, man, I want to do that. But in order to do that, that's why I love that that's your background, because it puts us in a position to really start to think about the fact that we're investing in our future selves with regard to our behavior and how we take care of ourselves now. So I think that's something that's very important. And maybe we need to leverage your expertise, and maybe we need to talk a little bit more about what we can do at the district level. And I know, Damon, we've talked, and you've been on a health kick for a while. So what's your take on that?
Well, first of all, that's a big question to ask me because right now I am 89 pounds down from my highest weight of my life.
Congratulations, man.
And
awesome.
It has been
It
has been a life struggle for me in terms of being able to make those healthy choices and to know. And what's so crazy to me is knowing what to eat sometimes, because what you think is healthy for you may not be, and what you think is absolutely horrible might be the best thing for you. And so being able to know that, and for us to have an expert here to do that, I think is absolutely incredible in terms of being able to guide us in that way. So what I think about it is it's incredible, and I want to learn and know more. And so please send out things or whatever to us more where we can be able to make those healthy decisions, because it is a decision and it is a fight and a struggle that, especially for us as educators, oftentimes we don't think about ourselves. We are always thinking about what is in the best interest of our students and what's in the best interest for our positions. But if we're not taking care of ourselves, we're no good for what we do.
Amen.
So
right.
I think that that's very important what you're talking about.
And we've talked about that because I know a lot of times we talk about the fact that we need to put kids first. But when you really think about it, we need to put ourselves first, right?
Correct.
If you're a principal, I know that I have 3 kids in the district. I'm hoping that my children's principal is putting themselves first, loving themselves, taking care of themselves, physically taking care of themselves, working on their emotional quotient, that they could take care of my kids at a higher rate. And I know that every parent wants that. So Dr.
That's so
Reiniger,
true.
what advice do you have, now that we have you here, what advice do you have for the district around physical fitness, around what you've learned through your research? I mean, how can we grow, or what steps do you think we need to follow as a school district or as individuals?
That's such a good question. And it's, there's no one answer. And I have to say, I understand this even more now at a personal level too, and isn't that the beauty of it, right? Like, we're all in the process of learning, like our mistakes and our successes and our attempts. They all inform who we are today and who we're going to be tomorrow, and on and on. And don't our kids have to learn that too, right? Like, today's failure on a test is not tomorrow's prediction, right? Just keep on keeping on. But at a personal level, so I've been physically active and tried to make healthy food choices, kind of over my life. I mean, I study it, so it's like, I better, live it too,
correct.
Right? But in 2022, I started having a series of health problems, particularly with my heart and the electrical system of my heart, and ended up, kind of out of the blue, just finished a half marathon not a few months before, and, doing my normal deal, running. I run like 6 times a week, and, whatever. I just do my pattern. But then started having these health problems and my heart, and ended up going through a series of procedures, having 3 procedures, ending up with a pacemaker, had 2 broken ribs in the process. So 2022 was like a bust. And I think about, where I am now, and, how do I'm coming back from that, and trying to still be physically active. But the main reason I run and I try and exercise is really my mental health. Like, you're like, get up and you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. And I'm so busy and I'm so this and I'm so that. It's like, get out there and just, whatever. You finally, okay. And then you come back and you're like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm happy. I'm feeling better. I've got my thoughts organized. And so 2022 was a big time struggle for me, because my normal way of coping now was disoriented, let's say. So anyway, I think that yes, there's personal elements to it. But when we are, for a district, getting to your question, when we as a district are providing recess where kids can just move and play and decompose and just have fun, when we're providing great athletic environment for kids so they can plug in and learn about being athletic and healthy more broadly, not just for a sport, not just for a performance, but for life. When we're providing PE classes that are enriching and exciting and teaching them life skills, when we're doing those bigger system kinds of approaches, we're teaching kids things they can do for the rest of their lives, and be at my age and still just trying.
And I love that. So to anybody out there that's listening, I think if you're scrolling through and you come across a SuperTalks and you listen to this part of it, you're listening to it for a reason. Take care of yourselves, exercise. And it's not only for your physical fitness, but for your mental health. And I think a lot of times as adults, we lose sight of the fact that exercise is good for the mind. And I think that as we get older, we start to think, well, I used to run, I used to dance, I used to when I was young. And you kind of get away from that. And I think that we need to continue, until we take our last breath on God's green earth. We need to continue taking care of ourselves. So I think that's a great message from our board president is physical fitness is key, not only for kids, but for adults. And it's not just for your physical fitness, but also for your mental health. So I think that that's one that we can all take away. So there's always some nugget from the SuperTalks that's powerful. And I think that's definitely one. And somebody out there, I hope that you may be sitting on your couch right now and you haven't exercised in a while. It's time to get after it.
Well, you know, I call it the airplane rule because I used to fly for 20 plus years a lot, very, very, very frequently. But, you know, one thing that they teach us on the plane is before you put your oxygen mask on your child, put it on yourself first. Because if you aren't conscious, if you aren't there, there's no way for you to be able to help. So I'm starting to learn in life, put the mask on first and then be able to help. In a metaphorical sense, if that makes any sort of sense.
That.
So, Dr. Reininger, as our board president, I know that comes with a lot of responsibility, and we're a high-performing district, and this board has very high expectations. This community has high expectations. What message would you like to give just to the teachers out there, to the administrators, to everybody out there, just something from our board president to the HCISD staff?
Oh, gosh. I mean, the main thing is just this incredible gratitude. Like we are, you know, I'm personally, but as a board, we are so proud of our kids and our teachers and our staff. I mean, from the bus drivers to the frontline folks serving food every day with those smiles on their face. I mean, I just envision all of these people that I've had the opportunity to meet and interact with, and we're so grateful for you. You know, you make a difference every day in so many kids' lives. You are the reason we have this hope for the future. We believe in you. We love that HCISD has gotten it right. Like there's this heart for people and this quest for excellence. Like we're never going to give up until we get it right. And then there's something more we're going to do next, you know, and it's like making sure these kids are plugged in and energized and are trying things. Doesn't have to, it's not the end. We're not having you peak in middle school or high school. You're peaking for life. Like this is ongoing. Keep going. So.
Well, I love that, and I love that the communities that's getting to see a different side of our board president. I mean, you may have not known that she rode horses or danced or ran or maybe even that there's somebody out there that's dealing with a medical condition, and you're saying, well, if Dr. Reininger can do it, if she can power through it, then I can too. So maybe getting inspiration from stories, and that's what the SuperTalks is all about. It's just opening up the office. Traditionally, we'd be having this meeting in private, but this is just open up to the world so that somebody out there gets a nugget and it just makes them a better person, a better mom, a better dad, a better son, a better daughter, just a better person. I think that's the end game of the SuperTalk. So, Damon, as we wrap things up, anything for Dr. Reininger, anything for the world? What do you got on your mind?
Well, I think that my big takeaway for today is this. Is that it's okay if you don't make it to the Olympics. But what's not okay is that you don't stop trying to figure out where you fit, where you belong, where you thrive, where you are at your best. And I think that the only way of doing that is by trying on many different hats. As you all have noticed, I've got one on today. You might see a couple too. From time to time. But I think you have to try on many different things until you figure out where you fit. And so I love the fact that you said that you had those goals too, and to also believe in your mind that it's possible. It is possible to be in the Olympics. It is possible to be the best dancer in the world. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have it. And for some people, they might. But never, ever give up until you find your place, and you will find your place. And you have obviously found your place. And we thank God for you, and we appreciate you.
Thank you
For being and doing what you do for us.
Thank you.
Dr. Reininger, any closing remarks for the world?
Gosh, just, continue to support HCISD. Like, just be there with us. We know that we like to hear, we like to listen, we like to learn. We're striving. So, stay in communication with us. We appreciate our community so much. There's so much pride. Our Harlingen community has an HCISD and vice versa. We couldn't do it without that partnership. So thank you.
And for me, I want to thank you, Dr. Reininger and Damon. It's always a joy being with you on the SuperTalks. I mean, it's a special day for me, turned 51 today, and I just feel blessed to be able to be with you, Damon, and with you, Dr. Reininger, and just here with the world. We have X amount of time on this planet, and just want to encourage everybody to be the very best that you can. And really hope that you took something away from today's SuperTalks that's going to make you a better person. So thank you, and have a wonderful afternoon.